that.
Because I've heard a ton about your story, and obviously like your professional soccer career and then sports and everything. And I want to talk about that too. But the way that we're having this conversation, I'm just going to go with where we're at.
Yes, please.
Are you a believer in a sense that everything happens for a reason?
Great question. Yes. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like that answer. I can't speak for anyone else's journey. I'm going to speak about mine.
But do you think you went on a major personal journey this past year from what I've seen?
Oh, personal. The
last girl I met in 2018 to who you are now, like something happened in that middle.
The past 10 years, like, 3 knee injuries. I thought I may be playing soccer for the rest of my life. 3 knee injuries. Last one, the surgeons were like, you have to stop playing. Went through a shit ton, to be quite honest. Complete identity crisis because I was like, okay, well, now I don't have soccer. Like, what do I do? Figured out, okay, I'm going to be on camera. Ended up somehow getting on television. And then now leaving that space, leaving that world, now create a vision for myself. If all these hardships did not happen, if that accident did not happen in 2019, I'm not sitting where I'm sitting. I'm not feeling the joy that I'm feeling in this moment right now. I'm also not marrying the love of my life. So there are so many moments in the last 10 years that have absolutely rocked my world. But if God was like talking to me and was like, okay, do you want to go back in time and like not do that and have that not happen to you? I would absolutely never trade it for the world, because I am finally at a place of like discovering who I am at my core, my purpose in this life, and finally like having the potential to have like the most beautiful work-life balance, you know? And that's something that I've strived for, because Justin, let me tell you, when I was in that accident and the truck hit me, so I was hit off the highway by a truck and my car went down these massive boulders down a ditch and flew into a tree.
Wow.
So when I got hit, I said it happened so fast, but the one thing that like all I could think about was my parents, like my family, my dog, and the fact that at 27, I'm going to die, and I haven't met my husband, and I haven't had the opportunity to have children. Let me tell you, I did not give a shit about my job, the money in my bank account, the money in my savings account, my benefits, my car, my home. Literally did not even cross my mind. The only thing I could think about was family and love. And when I got out of that accident, that's where so much was changing in me internally. Like I was like, okay, success isn't defined by Instagram, money, job. Success is defined by love, balance, joy, happiness, living in the moment. And all of this stuff was shifting in me internally, that when I wasn't living each day authentically and doing things externally that wasn't how I was feeling internally, it made me stressed, it made me exhausted, it made me unhappy. And then finally now I've had the courage, you know, a year and a half later to, you know, leave Sportsnet, leave that world that gave me, you know, national exposure, because it just wasn't fulfilling for me at a soul level anymore. So in my life, everything has happened for a reason. I love this conversation because my face is getting warm as I'm talking, which is like, to me, such a sign that like, you know, like it's just your intuition. And I'm just very grateful for the process. Now it's easier said than done, right? Because when the storm hits, you're like, seriously?
Yeah, because the way I look at it is this, because this is the concept or the theory I think I've come up to now at my older age. I'm only like 29 years old, but I used to think like, okay, yeah, everything happens for a reason, but there were certain things that happened where I'm like, oh, it doesn't make sense. Like I've had friends, you know, that passed away at a younger age. I grew up in a rougher neighborhood. Like, you know, I have friends who didn't even make it to 25, and then I'm old and I look back, I'm like, yo, that must have sucked, because so much of my life happened after like 23 and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't know the reason for that, but what I've learned is that if you look hard enough and you try hard enough and you look back at any good or bad situation, and you have to be a little bit optimistic. And I'm not one of those people that thinks you can be positive 24/7. I'm like the moodiest person you'll meet. I'm also not what everyone thinks I'm in person. Like I am such a good social person. You can put me in any atmosphere and I can make it work. But I got like social anxiety most places when there's large crowds. And I'm like the biggest homebody. Like I'd rather be at home with 1 or 2 people that I like than being with like 30 people I don't like. I see a Scorpio thing. Don't know. Yeah. But people think I'm like this social butterfly that wants to talk to everybody. And I'm like, I'm not. But that's not the point. The point is this, is that what I think I learned as I got older is if you do look back and you do look at any situation, and it might still be a shitty situation when you look back at it, there's a silver lining to everything. Like something came out of that led you to the person and what you're doing today. And if you're happy, because the key to life, in my opinion, is happiness, right? Like we should all be on this pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
Once something stops making you happy or you stop finding joy in it, then you probably should stop doing it, because realistically, you're just going to be miserable. You're going to be unfulfilled. You're going to resent a lot of things. And I think we're just, I'm a big Mad Men fan. It's one of my favorite TV shows. And there's a line in there that Don Draper said that which hit me hard one time, where he's like, happiness is just a feeling you get before you need more happiness. But then what I realized is a lot of people's happiness is this like materialistic side of happiness. They buy something new and they feel happy about it. They get a new car, they buy a new pair of shoes, they go on a trip, and all those things are amazing. And they do bring you happiness. It's great. I want to go on trips. I want to buy nice things every once in a while too and treat myself. That's not a bad thing. But those are temporary pieces of happiness. The moment you come home from that trip and you have to snap back in reality, that trip becomes a memory and now you're unfulfilled again. So do you think that if I say maybe not everything happens for a reason, but there is a silver lining to everything that happens because it leads you to where you are today?
I definitely believe that, and like I said, I can only speak for my journey, and I do believe that things in my life have happened for a reason, and I know why people argue against that, and I respect everyone's opinions, but like you said, I think for me, I was attaching success and happiness to the materialistic things, right? And that accident really forced me to change everything that I've believed to define success and happiness in my life. It really shook me hard. And now I'm so excited for this next chapter because my definition's changing. I'm taking control of my life. I'm in the driver's seat of creating something very beautiful for not only myself, but I believe a large community of people. And the skills and the work that I just learned over the last 5 years, I want to put to good use.